Hi my beautiful friends, I hope that you are all doing so well. I'm just fixing this camera. Okay, I am so excited to be on and chatting with you again. I'm in my backyard, so you may hear some screaming kids, some dogs, some wind chimes. It's how it goes. Because the weather outside today is like way too beautiful not to be engaged in this. Okay, so I wanted to start off by just sharing that I know that a lot of us right now are going through some serious transformative times, times of, rerouting and development in a different light. So I've spoken often about, feeling like in that limbo state, like I don't know what's next, I don't know where I'm going, I don't know what's happening. And as fearful that as we can be in those states and as scary as those states can feel, they are the most amazing places to be, and they are filled with such blessing because you are literally in the midst of your creator energy, because in that state you are clearing yourself of what no longer serves you and in the space of stepping into what does. So especially with the different energies taking place on the planet right now, we've never seen anything like this before. That's a different video in itself, but essentially you've heard me speak a lot about, these supportive energies. And there's a few things that I want to chat about, in terms of support with these energies. The first thing is clearing out and I guess rerouting. So when we are operating at a particular frequency, that's our vibration, our level of consciousness, our creator force. We are, let's say, operating at a radio station, so 99.9. When you are operating at 99.9, you are equally attracting everything, experiences, people, jobs, opportunities that are at that same frequency. So for some, they're operating, at a lower frequency because of the thoughts that they're thinking and the words that they're speaking. And they really, really, really want to manifest like the job of their dreams. Well, why isn't it coming? Why isn't it coming? I'm focused on it, but you're focused on the lack of it, and therefore it's still way out of reach. You're actually separating yourself from it further because you're focused on the idea of not having. Similarly, the thoughts that you think carry an energy. So every single thought that you think carries an energy. Let's say you're thinking a thought that really feels great, lights you up. It's a higher frequency thought because it feels good. Always bring it back to feeling, because that is your emotional indicator. That's your guidance system, your emotions. So if it feels good, it has a higher frequency. Not only are you actually perpetuating your frequency being higher, you're equally drawing in things in that moment and future moments to match that frequency. Same goes with lower energy thoughts, right? If you're thinking something more heavy, dense, it upsets you, whether it's in the past, present, or future, your mind, your body doesn't know the difference between whether something's happened already or it could happen or is happening. All it knows is the energy that's attached to that thought. So it's going to bring in more of that, but equally create a momentum around that type of energy. So if you're on my email list, you would have heard my last email that went out. I spoke a lot about momentum. And what that means essentially is that the more attention we give something is the more energy we give it. And the more energy we give something, particularly our thoughts, they start up here. All thoughts have to eventually manifest in physical form. It's just law. That's how it goes. The more energy we give something, right? But it is going to manifest into physical form. So the momentum around the thoughts that we're thinking have to do with whether that's a positive or a negative momentum. And with that comes the ability to understand and be more conscious of what we are creating. So if you're thinking constantly about a thought, it could be the same thought or different thoughts that have a very low frequency, low energy, you're creating a momentum around low frequency thoughts. And those low frequency thoughts carry low frequency energy. And that energy is going to manifest into physical form to match the frequency. So you're actually calling in low vibrational experiences, people, situations. Maybe you get a parking ticket that day and then you go down the street and spill your coffee in your lap. You get a speeding ticket, you don't make your lecture, like whatever it is, you are creating, because all experiences in your reality are coming from you, more to match your vibration, your vibrational set point. So equally, on the other hand, your high frequency thoughts can also gain a very strong momentum. So it's just about the momentum that you're choosing to give your thoughts, right? with that in mind, I've talked about our support, how supportive we are, or supported, sorry, we are right now in this time. And because of that, these manifestations from thought form to physical are not going to be taking as long. So you notice you think something, it pops up. You have an experience in your mind, you're kind of alluding to something, you think about, oh, it would be really cool to have, I don't know, that bracelet. All of a sudden that bracelet is on the shelf at the store you visit. Things like that. Like, things are manifesting a lot quicker, whether they're small or large in form. So that in mind, it's really important to be more conscious of the thoughts that we're thinking, what we're giving energy to, what we are tending to, because that's going to manifest much quicker with these supportive energies. Remember, Source wants you to have everything that you want, but it doesn't know the difference between what you want and what you're thinking about. Whatever you give energy to will come back to you, and Source will always, always support that. You've heard me speak about the cafe or the restaurant, right? Your order, you're literally placing an order for your thoughts and your words, and Source, the universe, is going to proudly meet that order for you. No questions asked, because we are always so supportive, especially during times of energetic extremes. There's a lot going on, right? So we are very supported, but it's also very important to remember that we get to choose whether that is a positive or a negative experience simply based on the attention to the thoughts that we are giving. So that is one thing that I really, really, really wanted to focus on today. As well as understanding that the natural course of attraction in terms of that limbo state. So as we let go of a lot of what no longer serves us, in the sense of either limiting beliefs, a job. A lot of people are stepping out of their conventional jobs right now, whether by choice or being let go. And at first it seems very frustrating, and it's like, well, why is this happening to me? And then we recognize how supportive we're being. We can align to the fact that maybe that really wasn't serving me, and it gives you that opportunity to really step into what is. So although these times can feel very energetically draining, overwhelming, and trying, if you can remember that everything in your reality still is coming from you, and you still have the power to create a negative or a positive experience, it's going to really, really, really help you through these, transitionary times and limbo-like states. But also remembering how grateful you should be for being in that limbo state, because like I've said, although it may seem, very uneasing at times, and we tend to go into fear as humans, not being able to predict what's next. That's an amazing place to be, because you can literally create anything you want. You are now free of limitation, of constraint, of expectation, of anything that was maybe once holding you down. So the only thing to really free yourself of now is your own limiting belief. And it is my promise that when you do that, you're really going to not only raise your vibration, but step into a space of being able to feel like you really do have the power, because you do, in creating not only how you see the world, but what plays out for you experience-wise. So I really, really, really would love you to focus on that right now. I quickly wanted to draw a card before I end off this video as a gentle, loving reminder from our angels, our guides, Source, Spirit, whatever you personally resonate with, as a gentle, loving reminder to keep your vibration high and what we can focus on right now. Again, I'm using Rebecca Campbell's Work Your Light Oracle deck. My absolute favorite. So just a card to tie off this beautiful session, this beautiful chat, and to remind you of your creator power, the beauty behind discomfort, and really, really, really inviting you to step into the light and focus on what brings you joy. Focus on thoughts that bring you joy, and really, really set your intention to raise your frequency and expand your consciousness, because you're friggin' incredible, and your intention is more powerful than you could ever imagine. Ooh, when cards jump out, I love it, because it's really clear that that was the one. So we had 3 here, so I'm going to pick one. That is beautiful. It says, trust your path. If you knew you would be supported, what would you do? Trust your path. That is such a beautiful card. really, really highlighting that we can never be wrong. There's no decision that you can make that's wrong, because we're so supported that you are always going to be guided on the path that is right for you. You are always going to be connected. So if you were feeling like you should have taken the path A, but you chose path B, you're going to be rerouted in any way that's necessary, because we are all so divinely supported. So trust your path. Trust that you are exactly where you need to be right now, or you would be somewhere else, because you know the way. Your soul knows the way. And if you listen to those gentle nudges, those, intuitive whispers and hits, as you do naturally, you're going to always know that you're on the right path. And if you feel like you're not, that's perfectly okay, because that's a beautiful time for transition. And how would you know that you needed to make a change or make a move if you weren't uncomfortable? So trusting that path as well, knowing that any discomfort that you feel in terms of a position that you're in, a friendship, a relationship, a job, whatever it is, trust that discomfort as being a beautiful signal to you, because you wouldn't have known that you wanted to make a change if you didn't feel uncomfortable. So remember that your emotions, and I always point here because we feel those emotions so strongly in our gut, right? Like it's such a knowing, and your gut is your second brain, but it's all energy. So remember that when you feel those emotions, they're your emotional indicators. If you are thinking a thought that doesn't feel right and it comes with a negative emotion, it's showing you, hey, we don't need to think that thought. That doesn't carry a very good frequency or a high frequency. Let it go. Good thoughts feel good. Those are your indicators, right? How are you in alignment or out of alignment in that moment? So trust that. But trust your path. I love that. If you knew you would be supported, what would you do? You would do anything. What is holding you back? Your belief. So what beliefs are holding you back right now? What do you really desire in this now moment? What path do you want to take? What next step are you yearning for that you are holding yourself back from and limiting yourself from taking out of fear? Release the fear and trust the path. Trust your path. You're so divinely guided and you are always looked after. I'm so grateful to be able to chat with you today and to really share those messages of love, but equally show you how supported we are. Like, look at all these cards and look what comes up, right? So just remember that you are exactly where you need to be, like I said, or you would be somewhere else. Trust yourself, trust your intuition, and just really focus on keeping your energy and your vibration high. Dance with life and just make feeling good your number one priority, so that you can bring in and attract like experiences, people, and situations. You're an amazing being. You are blessed beyond belief. I'm grateful to share with you, and I'm sending you so much love, light, infinite blessings, laughter, and happiness. And I wish you a beautiful rest of your day wherever you are in the world.